All right, ready to dive into something super practical. We're talking acing a caregiver interview.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and get this, our source is a YouTube video by Joshua Brown
Okay.
from howtobecome.com.
Mm,
They specialize in interview training. I
interesting.
checked him out,
Yeah.
and the guy really knows his stuff, helped tons of people land jobs.
Wow.
So he's sharing all his secrets specifically for caregiver interviews.
It's funny. Even though this is like for caregivers,
Mm.
I bet a lot of this applies to, well, any job interview. It's like all about standing out.
See, exactly, giving you that competitive edge, right?
Yeah.
So Joshua has these 7 key tips, and we're going to break them down.
Okay.
Like even more than that. We
Yeah.
got to get into the why. Not just like follow a script, but really understand how interviews work. You know, the psychology.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like interviewers are busy. They want reasons to say yes, not just another resume.
Totally. So tip number 1, research. I know everyone says that, right? But Joshua, he goes deeper. Not just the website, but like news articles, social media, what they've done lately, their values, the whole picture.
It's like showing you're not just applying everywhere, but you get this organization.
I'm already seeing how this sets you apart. Like you're invested before you even walk in.
Totally. Leads right into tip 2. Deconstructing the job description. Sounds technical,
A little.
but it's simple.
Mm.
Think of it as like a treasure map. They tell you what they want, you show them, you got it.
So you're speaking their language, like, I get your needs, here's how I fit.
Boom. Not just hoping something on your resume sticks out.
Okay, this is where it gets juicy. Tip 3, show, don't tell. Like in writing, but for interviews, how does that work?
Anyone can say they're, I don't know, hardworking. But like to really convince someone,
Mm-hmm.
you need proof, examples, stories.
Whoa, so instead of I'm great at time management, it's more like I once juggled XYZ and still aced it, that kind of thing.
Nailed it. Especially for caregivers, right?
Mm,
You're dealing with people's lives.
you're right.
They got to trust you.
Makes sense. Stories are way more interesting than just, like, a list of adjectives.
Way more. And they remember you. Think about it. You're the interviewer
Mm-hmm.
who sticks out. I'm patient. Or like a story about calming down a tough situation.
Definitely the story makes it real.
Now we're getting to the core empathy. Tip 4. Huge for caregivers.
Yeah, it's more than just tasks, right? You're dealing with people, their feelings.
Putting yourself in their shoes, understanding, responding the right way.
So how do you show that in an interview? Is it stories, like times you've connected with people?
Stories help, but also how you listen.
Mm.
Are you engaged?
Ah.
Asking questions back? It all builds that empathy vibe.
Like a connection, even in that short time?
Right on. Okay, one that's often missed, but vital.
Hmm.
Flexibility. Tip 5. Joshua stresses this. Things change in caregiving.
All the time, right? Last minute stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You got to adapt. So it's not saying I'm flexible, but showing it.
Like stories of times you had to switch gears, still get it done.
You're showing commitment. No matter what happens, you're there.
That's powerful. Okay, 5 down. What's next?
This is where people trip up. Asking good questions. Tip 6. Not generic ones, or worse, none at all.
Yeah, I've heard that's like a red flag for interviewers.
Makes you seem, I don't know, not that interested.
Right.
It's a chance to shine. Show your thinking.
And also, you're interviewing them too, right? Is this place right for me?
Two-way street. You learn about their culture, values, how they do things.
Like you're making sure it's a good fit, not just a job.
Exactly. You're not desperate, you're choosy.
I love that. Takes
Yeah.
the pressure off. Okay, 6 down. What's the final wisdom from Joshua?
This is key. Tailor your prep to caregiver questions. Tip 7.
Not like memorizing answers, right?
No, but think about what they might ask, how your skills fit those situations.
So like, tell me about a tough client. That kind of prep.
Yeah, you're more confident when you've thought it through.
Like a mental rehearsal, so when the pressure's on, boom, you nail it.
You got it. Okay, we've hit all 7 tips.
Awesome. But now let's see these top scoring answers in action, the real deal.
Okay, game on.
Like, what makes interviewers go, wow, we need this person?
Let's start classic. Why do you want to work here? Your time to shine,
I can feel it already. What makes an answer stand out?
not just flattery. Show you dug deep, like Joshua's example. The candidate knew about their personalized care plans from news articles.
Tying your research in. It's like, I see what you do. I want to be part of it.
Much better than just great reputation.
Yeah.
What's next?
Let's talk experience. What experience makes you a good caregiver? Some people might get stuck here.
Especially without, like, direct caregiving jobs before.
Yeah.
But transferable skills. Volunteering, family stuff.
Oh, like you helped a sick relative. That counts.
Totally. Any job where you're a patient, handle tough stuff.
Hmm.
Connect the dots.
I see. It's how you frame it. It's all coming together now.
Good. Now showing those key skills. This is you at your best.
And I bet show don't tell comes back here right.
Big time.
Yeah.
The top answer Joshua gives, it mixes hard skills like medication stuff, where soft skills, building relationships, all that.
So you're well-rounded, got the technical A&D, the people skills.
They're showing, not just saying. Make it a story. Let them see you in action.
Now we're talking. Okay, we've done research, job descriptions, skills.
All right.
Time to get to the heart of it, empathy.
This is where caregiving goes from a job to like a calling, you know?
Yeah.
You get the person, not just their needs.
I remember this nurse once visiting a friend. She wasn't just doing her job, but talking, making my friend feel seen.
That's it. Empathy. Small things, but huge impact.
Everyone's got a story. You treat them with that respect.
And that shows in the interview. You're there for the right reasons.
So how do you show that? Is it stories? How you connected with people?
Stories help, but also how you listen to them. Engaged. Asking back. That builds empathy too.
It's like building trust, even in a short interview.
Exactly. Now, one that's often overlooked, but vital for caregivers. Flexibility. Things change all the time, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Schedules, emergencies.
You got to adapt. Not just say, I'm flexible, but show it.
Like tell a story of how you handled something unexpected.
Yeah, you're proving you're reliable. No matter what, you're there for them.
Okay, so far we've covered a lot, but I want to make sure we don't miss this one. Joshua really emphasized tailoring your prep to caregiver-specific questions.
Oh, yeah, good one. It's not memorizing answers, but more like
Right.
anticipating what they'll ask.
Okay.
So you can show how your experience fits those exact situations.
So, like, they ask about a difficult client, you've already thought about how you'd handle it.
Exactly. You'll be more articulate, more confident in your response.
Makes sense. Okay, we've talked a lot about being a strong candidate, but what about figuring out if this organization is even right for you?
That's where asking smart questions comes in. It's your chance to see if their culture and values match yours.
I think a lot of people get nervous about asking questions in interviews, like they don't want to seem unprepared.
I get it, but honestly, it makes you look more engaged. Really? It shows you're thinking critically, not just going through the motions.
It's like a two-way street.
Exactly. It's about finding a good fit for both of you.
So what kind of questions should you ask?
Ditch the generic stuff like benefits and vacation time.
Yeah, those aren't very impressive.
Right. Instead, ask questions that show you understand caregiving and you're interested in their approach. Like, how do you ensure continuity of care for clients?
That's good. Shows you're thinking about the big picture.
Right. It's not just about you, it's about the clients.
Okay, give me another one.
How about what qualities do successful caregivers in this organization have?
Oh, I like that. Like, tell me the secret sauce for success here.
Exactly. It shows you're eager to learn and grow within their environment.
Okay, I have one. How do you handle emergencies or unexpected situations?
Perfect. Shows you're proactive and concerned about safety. Plus, you learn about their protocols and support systems.
That's essential for peace of mind, for sure.
Asking these kinds of questions makes the interview more like a real conversation.
Yeah, you're both figuring out if it's a match. Okay, we've covered a lot in this first part.
Yeah, we have.
Research, breaking down the job description, showing your skills, empathy, flexibility, asking good questions.
And we've just started to touch on the power of storytelling
That's right.
and how it can make your answers way more compelling.
I'm already feeling way more confident about approaching caregiver interviews.
Me too.
And I'm excited to dive even deeper into Joshua's advice in the next part.
Yes, definitely. We'll unpack even more insights and examples, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
You know, going deeper into these top-scoring answers,
Yeah.
it's crazy how much we can learn, even beyond, like, just caregiving.
Right. Like it's helpful for any interview.
Totally. It's like a master class in, how to present yourself.
I'm already thinking like meetings at work, even just talking to friends better.
Exactly. And one thing that hit me, storytelling.
So powerful. Okay, tell me more about that. Why are stories so effective? We all like them, but what's the psychology behind it?
Well, one thing is they take something like abstract and make it real. Instead of just saying, I'm patient, you're giving them a picture.
Oh, I see. So it's not just a word. It's like they can see you being patient.
Exactly. And stories stick with you. Think of like a presentation you loved or a conversation. Chances are there was a good story in there.
It's true. It's like you connect with it more.
And going back to those examples, each one had that story element.
Oh, yeah.
The person talking about research, they didn't just mention the care plans. It was part of their whole, I read about this, it fits my values.
Right. Not just facts. It's like, I'm already aligned with you.
And the experience one, not just tasks, but stories of going above and beyond, connecting with the client.
So you're not just a resume. You're a real person with, like, a heart.
That's what makes those answers stand out. They're not just answers, they're stories.
Okay, storytelling. Got it. What else?
Asking relevant questions. A lot of people, they mess this up.
Oh, yeah, generic questions or none at all. I've been there.
Such a waste. It shows you're engaged, curious.
It's true. Like, if someone asks good questions, I'm way more interested in them.
And remember, it's not just them interviewing you.
Right.
It's you seeing if they're a good fit for you too.
So it's about finding the right job, not just any job.
Exactly. And those questions, like we talked about, they help you see their culture, how they treat people.
Like, is this a place I'd actually want to work?
Asking about continuing education, that shows you're serious about growing.
Makes sense.
And the emergency question, that's showing you care about safety. Plus, you learn how they handle things.
Like, are they supportive? Do they have a plan?
That's important.
It makes the interview more, well, two-sided.
It's a dialogue, not just a test. Imagine you're the interviewer, and this person's done their research, great stories, asked good questions.
That's the person I'm calling back.
Exactly. These tips, it's about making that impression, owning your story, showing what you're capable of.
And even if you don't get this job, those skills are useful anywhere.
Oh, for sure. Think about it beyond the interview, like in your life.
Ooh, yeah. How do these tips apply outside of work?
Well, empathy, flexibility, communicating well, those aren't just for jobs. Those are for like everything. Relationships, dealing with, any situation.
So it's about like really trying to understand other people, rolling with the punches.
Asking questions that make you think, not just small talk.
Makes sense. Whether it's work, friends, family.
It's about being present,
Yeah.
truly there in the moment.
And learning never stops, right? Always something new.
Exactly. Embrace that. Don't be afraid to try things.
That's the fun part. And who knows, maybe that makes us better caregivers too, better friends, better communicators in general.
It's all connected, right?
It's wild how much we got out of just one YouTube video.
Right. So much to think about.
And remember, we just scratched the surface. There's a link in the show notes to his full video.
Check it out. Lots of good stuff in there.
So before we go to the last part,
Yeah.
take a minute. Think about what stuck with you. What can you use, like, right now?
In your work, your life, whatever. We'll be back soon to wrap it all up.
Okay, back to wrap up our caregiver interview deep dive. Whew, I'm feeling pretty pumped up, all these insights.
Me too. It's like a job interview, but it's got me thinking about, like, life in general.
Right. It's more than just getting hired. It's how to be a better you.
Joshua, he didn't just give tips. He gave, like, a philosophy.
And that storytelling thing, I gotta admit, at first I was like, okay, gotta make up stories now.
I know, right?
But it's like deeper than that. It's connecting, sharing stuff that matters.
Making things, I don't know, click for people instead of just words.
That's what I like about his approach. It's not just do this. It's here's why this works.
So you get it, you own it. It's about, like, the heart of it.
And you can't fake that in an interview. It's got to be real.
Right. You're either passionate or you're not.
Okay, wrapping up. Any final wisdom for us?
First off, never stop learning. This empathy, flexibility stuff, it's not just for work.
Oh, I see it now.
It's how to be a better person, period.
It's like the keys to better relationships, everything.
And there's always more to learn. Don't be afraid to try new things, mess up, all
It's
that.
like how you grow, right? And who knows, maybe it makes us better at everything.
Exactly. And if you want more from Joshua, his full video is linked below.
So much good stuff in there, all about acing those interviews, getting that dream job.
Go for it. You got this.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep on diving deep.